Hey YouTube, and welcome to Silent Code Dev. Welcome to day 81 of becoming a front-end developer from zero. So in this video, we're going to be doing chapter 15, objects the second. So we're going to go more in depth about objects, right? Going deeper into this JavaScript rabbit hole. If this is your first time watching my video, I'm basically doing I'm trying to become a front-end developer by learning, I'm doing a bit of coding every day, right? Learning JavaScript right now, and then we're gonna go to React, and we're gonna try to become proficient at the skill, right? And then hopefully make some web apps. So if you are learning to program, if you are in a similar situation as me, I would highly recommend you guys to check out my Discord group, or you can add me personally on Discord and you can ask me questions. You know, if you struggle with being consistent, finding time, I basically have 2 jobs and I exercise outside and I try to make time for this, right? So because I know it's hard, I struggled for many years to stay consistent. And even when you don't, right now, I don't have enough time, right? I'm gonna get up, I have to sleep, and then I have to go up. But I try to do something, right? This is me showing you guys through videos like this. Doing something is better than nothing, right? And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. So let's start. So reading dynamic property. Back in the first object chapter, we saw that we can use the dot notation to read a property on an object. For example, user equals ID1, name Sam Green, and user.id1. Now, what if the name of the property that you wanted to read was stored in a variable? For example, const key. So this doesn't work. So we cannot use the dot syntax here because the property is dynamic. When you write user key, JavaScript will then look at the property called key, which is not the case here. Instead, we need to get the value from the variable key, which is ID. Okay, so this is how we do it. So user key. So you could use dot. Okay, like that. Okay, so we are setting the key, the const key, to the ID string, and then we are doing this, right? So it's gonna read ID. So this works because key will evaluate the expression inside the square bracket. So in this case, key evaluates to ID, so we end up reading the property ID, which returns 1 because user ID is 1. So you're probably thinking that this is overcomplicated and we could have just accessed user ID. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, why do this? But that's true. However, there are cases where the key will be stored in a variable. For example, take the function below. So get value user key to read, return user key to read, and then we have okay, get value ID2, name Sam2. So in this case, oh god, in this case, get value accepts an object user and then the key to read. So to be able to implement the function, we had to access the property dynamically with user key to read. Okay, I gotta read that again. So in this case, get value accepts an object user, right here as a parameter, and then key to read. So to be able to implement the function, we had to access the property dynamically. Getting distracted, guys. Okay. So we had to access the property dynamically with user key to read. So this allows the function to be dynamic and accept any key on the user object, and its value will be returned. So don't worry if the concept is still not clear. This is a tough one. We'll have a challenge with some DOM with it so you can better visualize it. So I'm just trying to understand this, because you have get value, right? Which is, it is a function actually, and that's why we have user key to read. So I guess it's gonna give us, no, it's gonna give us this, because you have user. I mean, this is what we're sending it, right? And it's gonna give us Sam, and it's gonna give us 2. Okay, whatever. So there might be, okay, so why would the name of the property be stored in a variable? There might be many cases where the name of the property that you want to access is stored in a variable. Most notably, it comes from user input. It's provided by the user. For example, imagine a drop down where the user can decide whether they want to read the ID or the name property. We're looping through an object keys with object keys, as we'll see below. So object keys. So the object keys object method returns an array of all the keys in the object that you provide. Note that we have object here, which is a global variable available in JavaScript. It is similar to number, on which we call number parsing. So it's an object, global variable available in JavaScript. So the object global variable contains methods that are relevant to objects. One of them is the keys, which accepts any object. So for example, const user ID1 name. So it turns all the key. Yeah, okay, so we need to write that down. So we're gonna do objects. One moment, guys. See. Okay. By the way, I forgot to. I need to rename this. Okay, so object keys, what it's gonna do is that it's gonna access the. So object is a global variable accessible in JavaScript, and it has a bunch of methods, right? So if we use keys, it's going to give us, yeah, we want to write it correctly. So this array of all the object that you provide, and we're gonna have an example. So if you have, for example, const user, we can say ID1 name Sam, age 29. Okay, and then we want to access that, we can do const keys equals object keys user, and that's going to give us all of the properties stored in it's going to give us the key names though, right? So ID, name, age. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Because it's something I've been using. Sometimes when I code, I'm like, I know of object keys, but I don't exactly know what it does, you know? And I have to look up I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But I have to look up the documentation to see what it says. So, okay. Notice how it returns an array containing every single key. So, yeah, key value, sorry. So I said properties, but I mean like key values. So keys. So it's going to store all the keys in an array. So notice how it returns an array containing every single key from the user object. Remember to pass the object whose keys you want into the keys method. It's often confusing for developers to see this object with a capital O in the beginning. You can remember it as the name of the function is object keys, and then it receives whatever object you want as a parameter. So putting it all together, so since object keys returns an array, you can use it to loop through every key in the object and get its value dynamically. So you can, okay, so we can actually, yeah, we are getting the keys, and the keys will still hold value, right? It's not some generic stuff. So you can loop over it because it's going to be an array, and you can be like, for each key, yeah, I don't need to write that down because I know. So you cannot use dot syntax when the property you're trying to read is stored in a variable, blah, 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 square. Yeah, I need to read more on this. So for example, we have const user here, right? And then we create a variable and we name it like this. Okay. Okay guys, do one moment. Alright guys, so see this one. Complete function get course details such that it returns the following string. The course is X. Right, so we have a function. All right, let's read this. Where X is replaced with detail. Detail parameter, and Y replaced with the value. All right, I think I understood. So let's try. So yeah, here it says undefined, and that is because let's see. Oh. it's a string, right? um okay, let me see. Expected the course learn JavaScript to equal. Oh, we have a. Okay, I got it completely twisted. So yeah, I'm a bit tired, guys. But it says that where X is replaced with detail parameter and Y replaced with the value. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this one. Yeah, guys, I'm extremely tired. So it's like midnight right now, and I should be in bed. So I'm just gonna do this one, and we have to continue in the next. Sometimes it'd be like that, you know. I'd be struggling. So we can look through it. So here it says detail. Okay, so this would give us. Oh, we just have detail. Detail will give us name. Right. So I'm gonna redo this again. I'm gonna upload this video, but we are gonna go through the reading again because yeah, I'm tired. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this failed video. But it's not really a fail because I showed up, right? Even though I'm tired, and yeah. So have a good day, guys. Bye.